Hi. I wanted to kind of showcase this proof of concept I'm having of an ability system, and the ability system in itself, as of right now, isn't really much. But I do want to go over what I have in mind. So I've got some scripts here. Got the ability itself, ability controller, and ability template. So this is model behavior, you attach it to your object. The ability template is where you can go in and select the type of ability you want to customize to attach to the um, game object within the ability controller. And the ability is, of course, what it is. It's the core features. And within this, the idea is with this ability template is you can create a new asset, and then um, when you have this blank uh, template, and just go up, select the kind of ability you want to create, and then you can modify the values within the inspector for whatever purpose you need. And I only created two abilities. Only one of them does something, which is a spawn ability, which I already have created here. And as simple, this is just a simple demo example where you can spawn as many spears as you want, or any game object as you want. Not an ability I would probably have in game. If I do, it would be something completely different. Uh, but it's there and it works when you plug in the template here um, to handle it. So the controller itself is simple enough. um, where you have a list of all the abilities that is within the controller. There's another list to handle all the automatically triggered abilities. Um, and I'll give you I'll kind of talk through what that's going to really be. But the idea is upon you awake, you have this loadout, and you'll populate the abilities with your predefined loadout, and that's with the templates right there. And any automatic abilities will be assigned accordingly to that's list for execution every update or every frame. Um, I've got these add abilities and remove ability functions so that you could add abilities at runtime and remove them, permitting the um, type here. I want to kind of go into the ability itself. We have try activate and try deactivate, which um, will do the check to make sure it can be activated, and it won't activate it or deactivate it unless the conditions are met, and then activate and deactivate, which will actually fire it, which I made them both public for just kind of a force thing. If I'm thinking I might need to force an ability to start whether or not the conditions are met or not. That's still up in the air at this point. I'm not sure how I want to treat that, if I might even treat it at all. Um, you have this initialize, which will pass in a game object, and from there, each ability can define what it wants from the game object to utilize. We have these event functions that are called once the ability is activated. I have it in this way, so if you override any of these, well, I made it so you can't, but that way it's safe. You don't have to worry about reprogramming or making sure these conditions are met before it gets activated. So activate will perform, will set the ability as active and fire the events. Same with deactivate. There's a clone function which is going to be used from the controller for when it takes it from the template. I've got these interfaces down here to mark the abilities. Automatic ability, which was in the controller, it means it will get fired, or it will try to execute every frame to try to activate it, deactivate it. Um, Static ability means this cannot be added or removed at runtime, aside from the initial instantiation. So only static abilities can really be added to the loadout. Um, or that'd be the only way you can add those to the character or ability controller, um, is within the initialization process. Because here there's nothing to say, hey, it's um, static or not. But when you go in here, we check to see if it's a static ability, and we will not add it at all if it inherits from my static ability. Um, Inheriting, well, the static ability inherits from I irremovable ability, which means that it can be added at runtime, but it cannot just be removed. So, um, I suppose in a sense this could be a debuff if on a character, if you will. Um, but like I said, this is just proof of concept. This one I'm not sure if I want to keep that or not, or if I should just keep this allowed duplicate field within the ability, which would mean that multiple uh, types can be applied to the controller. Because if it's false, it won't allow the same type to be added on, or if even if the abilities are identical, then it won't allow it to attach on. That's what I'm thinking with that. But um, at this point, I don't see much use for it besides for um, abilities that will trigger character movement states. Because I'm going to use a finite state system or state machine to control the character's movement. Um, that's the purpose for this. So this type of ability would be an automatic ability because it will be executed every frame to ensure the character enters the correct state when he needs to be in it. Um, but the idea is I want to be able to control the character's fundamental movement and his actions through the ability system. So this is just proof of concept, and I mean I have to using Odin Inspector to handle serialization of these ability types within the template. So I can select the ability and it'll be serialized. I don't have to worry about it getting reset because I tried serial reference and I'm not quite sure how that works yet. But Odin Inspector was a safe choice for me at this time since I'm not too familiar with editor scripting. Um, this is real simple. I have a type filter from Odin Inspector and inline properties so I can just edit it and see it right then and there. All in all, that's pretty much it. The idea is the abilities will have interfaces so you can know the base functionality of it and what to expect from that ability without going too far into the ability itself. Um, that's my proof of concept, and if anyone stumbles upon this and has feedback, I'd like to hear it. see it, read it. So, all right. Thanks for tuning in.